Hey y'all, do you remember the beautiful Thelma from Good Times? I love that show and I think it had a positive impact on the community. It was the first black show with a two-parent household. It was a very popular show back then. It's still popular now to me. They were a poor family, but a family to be respected. Bernadette Stanis, who played Thelma Evans, was one of the most beautiful women back then, and she's still beautiful to this day. She's gorgeous. I always thought that she just had a certain charm to her, and she still has that now. She was born in Brooklyn, New York, in a two-parent household. She also has some island roots on her father's side. His parents is from Grenada, and her mother is from Louisiana. She is one of five children. She went to Erasmus Hall High School and later attended the Juilliard School. When she was a teenager, she entered Miss Black America pageants. She later became Miss Brooklyn, and she was a runner-up in the Miss New York State pageant. She went on to play Thelma on Good Times from 1974 to August 1979. She said on an interview with Willie that she was on a beauty pageant, the Miss New York pageant, I believe, when her mother met the manager who told her about Good Times. And that's how we got to know the beautiful Thelma. She started out not having a lot of lines on the show, but she got that changed. And I'm grateful for that because I looked up to her from watching her role on the show. On the daytime Chicago show, she talked about how she went to Esther Roll and talked to her about getting more lines, and she thanks Esther Roll for giving her the opportunity to go up to the producers and tell them who Thelma was. Esther said, "Leave it up to me," and she made it happen for her. She loved Esther Roll. They were pretty close. I wasn't born when the show aired, but I sure watched the reruns. I still watch a lot of those episodes on YouTube. After Good Times ended, she made appearances on different shows like What's Happening Now, The Cosby Show, Love Boat. She played a beautiful model on that episode who went on a cruise with her husband. She appeared in Bustin' Loose, The Good News, The Wayans Brothers, The Parenthood, and more. According to Wikipedia, she was married four times. She married her high school sweetheart, Thomas Fauntleroy, from 1974 until 1978, then to nightclub owner Darnell Johnson in 1979. Her third marriage was to mechanical engineer Terrence Redd, who is currently married to Mrs. Parker from the movie Friday. Kathleen Bradley. Bernadette's current husband is Kevin Fontana. I heard she's been married a very long time, 30 something, 40 years, I'm not sure exactly. On Wikipedia, it says there was an article back in 2012 that stated at the time she had been married for 31 years. She also has two beautiful daughters who I think took after their beautiful mother. The last I heard, they were in medical school. Thelma has also experienced tragedy in her life. She said on the interview with Daytime Chicago that her father was murdered. She said it was a black on black crime situation. I hope they caught those criminals who did that. She said her mother was 59 years old at the time, and that happening to her father affected her mother in some way. Her mother developed Alzheimer's disease. She believes that is part of the reason her mother developed Alzheimer's. She became her mother's caregiver for years. She ended up writing a book called The Last Night. That book shares the story of her life, her real life with her family, including how she took care of her mother, her life as a caregiver to her mother. She wrote a number of different books. She said one day they were watching Good Times in the middle of her having Alzheimer's, and her mother would look at Thelma and JJ fighting. And one day her mother said, "You know, that's a cute little old girl." She was talking about Thelma. She said her mother knew a connection, but she didn't look like Thelma from back then now, so Thelma wasn't her to her mother. Bernadette says she felt like a knife in her heart twisted. That's what Alzheimer's does to people. It's not easy. Thelma is a great daughter. She stood by her mother. She's just a beautiful person inside and out. She started an Alzheimer's foundation in honor of her mother called Remembering the Good Times. The beautiful Bernadette is active on Instagram. You can check her out. She's as beautiful as ever. She also has a YouTube channel. Follow her, you guys. Subscribe, and I'll see you next time.